Life has a way of changing everything in just one moment. For Anna Chen, that moment came on a cold November night when rain was falling like tears from the sky. Anna was 28 years old and loved her job as a school teacher. Kids would run up to her in the hallways, excited to tell her about their day. She had this amazing laugh that could make anyone feel better. Her husband Michael was a lawyer who worked downtown, and they had been married for 3 years. They were planning to buy a bigger house and start a family soon. That Tuesday evening, Anna and Michael were driving home from dinner at their favorite restaurant. They had been talking about baby names and laughing about silly things. The rain was getting heavier, but Michael was a careful driver. They stopped at a red light just 2 blocks from their house, then everything went black. A drunk driver ran straight through the red light at 50 miles per hour. He hit their car so hard that it spun 3 times before stopping. Michael died right there at the scene. Anna was rushed to the hospital with doctors working on her for hours. When Anna finally woke up 3 days later, her sister Lucy was sitting next to her bed with red eyes from crying. The doctor came in with news that would change Anna's life. Forever, her spine was badly damaged. She would never walk again. 6 months later, Anna sits in her small apartment every day, looking out the window at a world that seems to move without her. Her wheelchair sits next to a bed that feels too big now. The walls are covered with get-well cards from students, other teachers, and friends. But most of those people don't visit anymore. Lucy comes by every single day, bringing groceries and trying to make Anna smile. But Anna can see the worry in her sister's eyes. Lucy has her own family to take care of, but she feels like she has to watch over Anna too. The hardest part isn't the wheelchair or the physical therapy or even the pain. It's how people look at her now. When Anna goes to the grocery store, people either stare or look away quickly. Old friends don't know what to say anymore. The men who used to ask her out have disappeared completely. Anna used to feel like she could handle anything. She was the teacher who stayed late to help struggling students. She was the woman who fixed her own car and painted her own house. Now she feels like everyone sees her as Broken Dot at the coffee shop where she and Michael used to go every Saturday. Anna overhears 2 women talking. "It's so sad about Anna," one says. "She's so young, but what man would want to deal with all that? Her life is basically over." Anna rolls her wheelchair out of the coffee shop as fast as she can. Those words hurt more than any physical pain she's felt. Is that really what everyone thinks? That no one could ever love her again? That her life has no value now? Back in her apartment, Anna looks at photos from her old life. There she is, standing in her classroom, pointing at a math problem on the board. There she is, dancing at her wedding with Michael spinning her around. There she is, hiking with friends on a mountain trail. Sometimes Anna wonders if it would have been better if she had died in that car crash too. At least then people would remember her as she was, not as this broken version of herself, but deep down, there's still a spark of the old Anna, the Anna who never gave up on a difficult student. The Anna who believed that every problem had a solution if you were brave enough to look for it. That spark is small now, but it's still there, waiting for the right moment to grow bigger. Anna doesn't know it yet, but 40 miles away, there's a man who's about to change everything. A man who will see her strength instead of her limitations. A man who will help her remember that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you keep going even when you are. The rain is falling again tonight, just like it was 6 months ago. But this time it sounds different to Anna, not like tears, but like a promise that tomorrow might be better than today. Anna pulls a blanket over her legs and picks up a book. Reading helps her escape to other worlds where anything is possible. Tonight, she's reading about a woman who builds a new life after losing everything. Anna doesn't believe that could happen to her, but something about the story makes her feel a little less alone. Outside her window, the streetlights make the rain look like tiny diamonds falling from the sky. Anna watches them dance and thinks that maybe, just maybe, there's still some magic left in the world. She just has to be patient enough to find it. 40 miles outside of town, where the roads turn to dirt and the nearest neighbor is 3 miles away, Ben Walker wakes up every morning before the sun rises. His alarm clock broke 2 years ago, but his body doesn't need it anymore. The cattle don't care what time it is. They need food and water whether it's Christmas or Tuesday. Ben is 35 years old, though the lines around his eyes make him look older. His hands are rough from years of fixing fences, carrying hay bales, and delivering baby calves in the middle of winter storms. He's tall and lean, with dark hair that's always messy from wearing his old cowboy hat. The ranch belonged to his father. And his father's father before that? 3 generations of Walker men have worked this land, raised cattle here, and called this place home. But Ben is the last one left now. His dad died 2 years ago from a heart attack, and Ben never married. Or had kids died every morning. Ben walks through the same routine. Feed the cattle, check the water tanks, fix whatever broke during the night. The ranch house is big and empty, with rooms that Ben doesn't even use anymore. His dad's coffee cup still sits in the kitchen sink, and Ben can't bring himself to wash. Money is tight. The bills keep coming, but cattle prices have been low for months. Ben owes money to the bank, the feed store, and the veterinarian. Sometimes he lies awake at night wondering if he should just sell the ranch and move to the city. But this land is in his blood. He doesn't know how to be anything other than a rancher. Ben doesn't talk much. He's more comfortable with animals than people. Cattle don't judge you or ask difficult questions. They just need you to take care of them, and they trust you to do it. Ben understands that kind of simple relationship. Once a week, Ben drives his old pickup truck into town for supplies. He goes to Miller's feed store for grain, stops at the hardware store for whatever he needs to fix, and eats lunch at Rosie's Diner. It's the only meal he doesn't cook for himself. And even though the food isn't great, it feels good to be around other people for an hour. Rosie's Diner is where Ben hears all the town gossip. He doesn't talk much, but he listens. That's how he learned about Anna's accident 6 months ago. People talked about it for weeks. Some felt sorry for her, others whispered about how tragic it was, and a few made comments that made Ben's jaw tighten with anger. Ben had seen Anna before the accident, though they'd never spoken. She was the kind of woman who lit up a room when she walked in. Always smiling, always helping someone, always full of life. Ben remembered thinking that she was way too good for a quiet, rough man like him, but the things people said after her accident bothered Ben deeply. He heard 2 men at the hardware store talking about how no real man would want to deal with a woman in a wheelchair. At the diner, he overheard women saying Anna's life was basically over and that she'd never find love again. Ben didn't say anything, but those comments stayed with him. He thought about Anna sitting alone in her apartment while people talked about her like she was already dead. It reminded him of how people looked at him sometimes, like he was just a lonely old rancher who would die alone on his land. The difference was that Ben chose his loneliness. Anna didn't choose hers. Ben had always been the type of person who helped others quietly. When old Mrs. Patterson's roof leaked last winter, Ben fixed it without being asked and never mentioned it to anyone. When the Johnson family lost their farm, Ben bought their tractor for twice what it was worth, so they could pay their debts. He didn't help people for recognition or thanks. He helped because it was the right thing to do. His father had taught him that a man's worth isn't measured by what he owns, but by how he treats others when no one is watching. Every evening after all the ranch work is done, Ben sits on his front porch with a cup of coffee and looks out at the mountains. The sunset paints the sky in colors that change every day, sometimes purple and orange, sometimes pink and gold. It's beautiful, but Ben wishes he had someone to share it with. Ben has been thinking about Anna more lately. Not in a romantic way. He knows a woman like her would never be interested in someone like him, but he thinks about her strength. Anyone who survived what she went through has to be incredibly brave. Ben faces down angry bulls and works through blizzards, but he's not sure he could handle what Anna is going through. There's something about her situation that calls to him. Maybe it's because they're both alone now. Maybe it's because he understands what it's like when people count you out. Or maybe it's because he sees something in her that others don't, a strength that hasn't been broken, just tested. Ben doesn't know it yet, but tomorrow he's going to drive into town for supplies. And tomorrow he's going to see Anna for the First time since her accident. That moment will change both of their lives in ways neither of them can imagine. Tonight, Ben sits on his porch and watches the stars come out. They're the same stars his father and grandfather watched from this same spot. Ben hopes that somewhere Anna is looking at those same stars and remembering that even in the darkest times, there's still light in the world. The wind picks up, carrying the smell of rain from the mountains. Ben finishes his coffee and heads inside to plan tomorrow's work. He has no idea that tomorrow will be the day everything changes. Tuesday morning starts like any other day for Anna. She's been forcing herself to leave the apartment more often, even though it's scary. Her physical therapist says it's important to stay active in the community. Her sister Lucy agrees, though. Anna knows Lucy worries every time she goes out alone. Today, Anna decides to visit the public library. She used to love reading before the accident, but somehow she'd stopped. Everything felt too hard, too pointless. But this morning, she woke up wanting to feel normal again, even if just for an hour. The library is only 6 blocks away, but it takes Anna 20 minutes to get there in her wheelchair. The sidewalks are cracked and bumpy, and twice she has to go into the street because a tree root has pushed up the concrete. By the time she reaches the library, her arms are tired and she's wondering why she thought this was a good idea. Inside the library, things are better. The librarian, Mrs. Foster, smiles warmly and asks if Anna needs help finding anything. Anna picks out 3 books, a mystery novel, a cookbook adapted for people with limited mobility, and a book about starting small businesses. The business book surprises Anna. She's not sure why she picked it up. Maybe because she's been thinking about doing something with her life besides feeling sorry for herself. Before the accident, Anna had dreamed of maybe opening a tutoring center for kids who struggled in school. That dream feels impossible now. But something about the book calls to her. The problems start when Anna gets outside. The library parking lot is covered in loose gravel, and her wheelchair wheels keep getting stuck. She tries to push harder, but that just makes it worse. The books slide off her lap and scatter on the ground. Anna feels tears starting to form. This is exactly why she doesn't leave the apartment. Everything is so much harder now. Simple things that she never thought about before are like climbing mountains. She looks around for help, but the parking lot is empty except for a few cars. She tries again to move her wheelchair, pushing with all her strength. One wheel breaks free, but the other sinks deeper into the gravel. Anna is stuck and she's too proud to call for help. She sits there for a moment, feeling defeated and angry at herself for even trying. That's when she hears the sound of a truck pulling into the parking lot. Anna looks up to see an old blue pickup truck with a dent in the front bumper. The man who gets out is tall and lean, wearing jeans and a cowboy hat. Anna recognizes him from around town, though she doesn't know his name. Ben Walker takes one look at the situation and walks over without hesitation. He doesn't say much, just looks like you're stuck in a calm, matter-of-fact voice. He bends down and examines her wheelchair wheels like he's looking at a tractor that won't start. The gravel's too loose here, Ben says. If you back up just a little, I can clear a path for you. Anna is embarrassed, but Ben doesn't make her feel like a burden. He talks to her the same way he'd talk to anyone who needed help with a practical problem. No pity in his voice, no uncomfortable sympathy. Just one person helping another. Ben uses his boot to push the gravel aside, creating a firm path to the sidewalk. He guides Anna's wheelchair gently, his hands steady and sure. In less than 2 minutes, she's free and back on solid ground. Thank you, Anna says, looking up at this stranger who helped her without making her feel helpless. Ben tips his hat. No problem, gravel's tricky stuff. He notices her books scattered on the ground and picks them up. As he hands them back too. Her? He glances at the business book. Starting a business, huh? He asks. There's genuine interest in his voice, not the fake cheerfulness that Anna is used to hearing from people. Maybe, Anna says. I used to be a teacher. I was thinking about tutoring, but ... She trails off, not sure how to explain all the reasons. Why it seems impossible now, Ben nods thoughtfully. Teaching's important work. Kids need good teachers. He pauses, then adds, I've got a nephew who visits my ranch during summers. He's struggling with math and reading. His mom's always looking for someone to help him catch up. Anna feels a tiny spark of interest. How old is he? 10, smart kid, just learns differently than most. Regular school doesn't seem to fit him too well. For the first time in months, Anna feels like someone is talking to her about her abilities instead of her limitations. This man, she still doesn't know his name, is looking at her like she's a teacher, not a tragedy. I'd be happy to meet with him, Anna says, if his mother is interested. Ben smiles for the first time since Anna has been talking to him. It changes his whole face, making him look younger and less serious. I think she'd like that. I'm Ben Walker, by the way. I run a cattle ranch about 40 miles out of town. Anna-chan, she replies, and thank you again for helping me. Like I said, no problem. Ben looks like he wants to say something else, but he just tips his hat again. I better let you get on with your day. Take care of yourself, Anna. As Ben walks toward the library entrance, Anna watches him go. There was something different about their conversation. Ben didn't treat her like she was fragile or broken. He didn't use that careful, soft voice that everyone uses with her now. He talked to her like she was just a regular person who happened to need help with gravel. Anna wheels herself home with more energy than she's felt in months. She keeps thinking about Ben's nephew and the possibility of tutoring again. It's been so long since someone asked her to use her brain instead of just surviving each day. That evening, Anna calls Lucy to tell her about the library trip. She mentions meeting Ben and the tutoring opportunity. Lucy is cautious, asking lots of questions about this rancher who helped her sister. But Anna can hear relief in Lucy's voice, too. It's the first time Anna has sounded excited about anything since the accident. Ben drives back to his ranch thinking about Anna. She was smaller than he expected, but there was something strong about her. The way she was fighting with that wheelchair, determined to handle the problem herself. The way her eyes lit up when he mentioned his nephew needing help with school. People in town talked about Anna like she was helpless, but Ben saw something different. He saw a woman who was still fighting, still looking for ways to be useful. That took courage. Ben doesn't know much about wheelchairs or what Anna's daily life is like now, but he knows determination when he sees it. And he saw it in Anna-chan? Today, sitting in that library parking lot, refusing to give up even when things got difficult, maybe his nephew really could use a tutor. And maybe Anna could use a reason to feel needed again? It seems like the kind of situation where everyone could win. 3 weeks pass after the library parking lot encounter. Anna finds herself thinking about Ben more than she expected. Not in a romantic way, she's not ready for that kind of thinking yet. But there was something calming about his presence. Something genuine about the way he treated her. On Thursday afternoon, Anna hears a knock at her apartment door. When she opens it, Ben is standing there holding a small basket of fresh vegetables. Tomatoes, green beans, corn, and leafy lettuce that looks like it was picked that morning. From my garden, Ben says simply. Thought you might enjoy them. Anna is surprised. That's very kind of you. Please, come in. Ben steps into her small apartment, removing his hat. Anna notices how he looks around without judgment, taking in her setup, the ramps Lucy helped install, the lower shelves, the way. Everything is organized for wheelchair access. Coffee? Anna offers, if it's not too much trouble. As Anna makes coffee, Ben sits at her small kitchen table. He doesn't fidget or seem uncomfortable like most people do in her apartment. He just sits quietly, looking out her window at the small garden behind the building. How's your nephew doing? Anna asks as she hands him a cup. That's actually part of why I'm here, Ben says. I talked to his mother about tutoring. She's very interested. But Tommy's having a rough summer. His parents are going through a divorce and he's acting out. Regular tutoring might not work for him right now, Anna nods. She taught enough kids to know that emotional problems often showed up as learning problems. What do you think would help him? Space to be himself. Time to work through his feelings without pressure. Maybe learning could happen along the way, but not as the main focus. Anna is impressed by Ben's understanding of child psychology. You've thought about this a lot. Tommy reminds me of myself at that age. Ben says quietly. I was angry after my mother died. School felt pointless when everything else in my life was falling apart. Over the next hour, Anna and Ben talk about Tommy, but their conversation wanders to other topics. Ben tells her about ranch life, the rhythm of caring for animals, the challenges of weather and markets, the satisfaction of work that connects you to the land. Anna talks about teaching, about how different kids learn in different ways, about missing the energy of a classroom. Ben starts visiting Anna once a week, always bringing something from his garden or ranch. Sometimes it's vegetables, sometimes fresh eggs, once a jar of honey from his neighbor's beehives. He never comes empty-handed, and he never makes Anna feel like charity. Their conversations grow longer and deeper. Anna learns that Ben reads constantly during winter months when ranch work slows down. He's interested in history, science, and business management. Ben discovers that Anna has a sharp mind for problem solving and can see solutions that others miss. One evening in late July, Ben arrives looking more serious than usual. He sits down at Anna's kitchen table and gets straight to the point. I have a proposition for you, he says. And I want you to hear me out before you say anything. Anna sets down her coffee cup and gives him her full attention. My ranch is struggling. Ben continues. I'm good with cattle and fixing things, but I'm terrible with paperwork, budgets, and dealing with buyers. I spend half my time driving to town for things I could handle by phone or computer if I knew how to organize it better. Anna listens, wondering where this is going. The ranch house is big and empty. It has everything you'd need, ramps to the porch, a bathroom on the first floor, plenty of space. I've been thinking about what you said about wanting to feel useful again. Ben takes a deep breath. I'm not talking about charity, and I'm not talking about romance. I'm talking about partnership. You could help me run the business side of the ranch. In return, you'd have a place to live, work that matters, and maybe a chance to tutor kids like Tommy in a setting that suits them better. Anna stares at him. You want me to move to your ranch? I want us to help each other, Ben says firmly. You need a purpose, and I need someone who can think beyond just surviving day to day. You need to feel independent, and I need to save this ranch before the bank takes it. Anna's mind races with questions and doubts. Ben, I can't do physical ranch work. I can't help with cattle or fix fences, or I'm not asking you to, Ben interrupts gently. I'm asking you to do what you're good at. Organization, planning, teaching, problem solving. The stuff that happens at a desk, not in a pasture. Ben leans forward. Anna, I've watched you figure out solutions to problems that most people don't even notice. You've redesigned your entire life around a wheelchair and made it work. You've kept your spirits up when everyone else gave up on you. That's exactly the kind of thinking I need. Anna feels overwhelmed. This is a huge decision. I need time to think. Of course, Ben says. Take all the time you need. But I want you to know something. He looks directly into her eyes. People in town talk about you like you're helpless. They're wrong. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. This isn't me doing you a favor. This is me asking for help from someone I respect. After Ben leaves, Anna sits in her quiet apartment thinking about his offer. The idea terrifies her, but it also excites her in a way she hasn't felt since before the accident. For months, she's felt like a burden on everyone around her. Ben is offering her a chance to be needed again, to contribute something meaningful. Anna calls Lucy and tells her about Ben's proposition. Lucy is skeptical and worried. Anna, you barely know this man, moving to a remote ranch? What if something goes wrong? What if he's not who you think he is? But as they talk, Lucy can hear something in Anna's voice that's been missing for months. Hope. Real, genuine hope about the future. That night, Anna lies in bed thinking about Ben's words. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. When was the last time someone called her strong instead of tragic? When was the last time someone saw her abilities instead of her limitations? Anna makes her decision. Tomorrow she call Ben and say yes. She's tired of feeling sorry for herself. She's ready to be useful again. She's ready to be brave. Outside her window, the same stars that shine over Ben's ranch are twinkling in the summer sky. Anna looks at them and makes a promise to herself. Whatever happens next, she won't let fear stop her from trying to build a new life. She's already survived the worst thing she could imagine. Now it's time to see what else she's capable of. Anna calls Ben the next morning before she can change her mind. Her hands shake a little as she dials his number, but her voice is steady when he answers. "I accept your proposition," she says without any small talk. "When do you want me to move to the ranch?" There's a pause on Ben's end, then she hears something that might be relief in his voice. "How about we take this one step at a time? Would you like to visit first? See the place, make sure it could work for you?" The following Saturday, Ben picks Anna up in his truck. He's installed a special lift in the back for her wheelchair, which surprises her. "When did you do this?" she asks. "Yesterday," Ben says matter-of-factly. "Figured you'd need a way to get around." The drive to the ranch takes 45 minutes on winding country roads. Anna watches the landscape change from suburban neighborhoods to farmland to open ranch country. The mountains grow larger and more dramatic as they get farther from town. By the time they reach Ben's property, Anna feels like she's entered a different world. The ranch spreads out in all directions, rolling hills covered with grass, cattle scattered across the landscape, and the big sky stretching endlessly overhead. The ranch house sits on a small rise surrounded by old oak trees. It's a 2-story farmhouse with a wide front porch and white paint that's starting to peel. "It needs work," Ben says, following her gaze, "but it's solid." Ben gives Anna a tour of the house, and she can see he's been busy preparing for her possible arrival. There's a wooden ramp leading up to the front porch. The downstairs bathroom has been modified with grab bars and a roll-in shower. A bedroom on the first floor has been cleared out and set up with a desk facing a large window that looks out over the pastures. "This could be your office," Ben explains. "Good light, quiet, plenty of space for files and computers." Anna wheels around the room, imagining herself working here. The view is spectacular, green hills rolling away toward purple mountains. "It's beautiful," she says honestly. The kitchen is large and old-fashioned, with counters that are too high for Anna to reach comfortably. Ben notices her looking at them. "I can lower some of the counters if you decide to stay," he offers. "That would be expensive," Anna says. "Not as expensive as losing the ranch," Ben replies. They spend the rest of the day looking at Ben's office situation, which is a disaster. Papers are stuffed into boxes, receipts are scattered across a desk, and his filing system seems to consist of piles organized by urgent, maybe urgent, and no idea what this is. Anna looks through some of his records and starts to see the scope of the challenge. Ben is a good rancher, but he's disorganized with the business side. He's missing opportunities to sell cattle at better prices because he doesn't track market trends. He's paying too much for feed because he doesn't compare suppliers. His tax situation is a mess, but Anna also sees potential. Ben's cattle are healthy and well cared for. His land is good. He has a solid reputation with local buyers. With better organization and planning, the ranch could be profitable. "This is fixable," Anna tells Ben as they sit on the front porch watching the sunset. "It'll take work, but it's definitely fixable." Ben looks relieved. "So you'll do it? You'll move here?" Anna takes a deep breath. The ranch is beautiful, as she feels more useful after one day here than she has in months. But it's also isolated and completely different from anything she's known. "Yes," she says. "I'll try it." They agree that Anna will move to the ranch in 2 weeks. That gives Ben time to finish the house modifications and Anna time to prepare herself mentally for the biggest change of her life. Lucy is not happy about Anna's decision. "You're moving 40 miles away to live with a man you barely know," she argues. "What if you get hurt? What if you need help? What if he turns out to be crazy?" Anna understands Lucy's concerns, but she's tired of living in fear. "Lucy, I've been hurt already. The worst thing that could happen to me already happened. I survived it. I can survive other things too." Moving day arrives with a mixture of excitement and terror for Anna. Ben brings his truck and a trailer, plus 2 friends from neighboring ranches to help with the heavy lifting. Anna is touched that he thought to bring help. It shows he's been planning how to make this as easy as possible for her. The first few days at the ranch are overwhelming. Everything is different: the sounds, the smells, the rhythm of life. Anna wakes up to roosters crowing instead of traffic noise. She falls asleep to the sound of cattle lowing in the distance instead of sirens and car alarms. The work is challenging too. Anna sets up her office and starts diving into Ben's chaotic records. She spends hours on the phone with suppliers, comparing prices and negotiating better deals. She creates spreadsheets to track expenses and income. She researches cattle markets and feeding schedules, but the hardest part is the isolation. Lucy can't visit as often because of the distance. Anna's old friends seem even further away than before. Some days, the only person Anna talks to is Ben. And he's not much of a talker. Anna also struggles with the physical aspects of ranch life. The dirt roads are hard to navigate in her wheelchair. Strong winds can make it dangerous for her to be outside. When it rains, the yard becomes muddy and impossible for her to cross. One afternoon, Anna gets stuck trying to reach the mailbox. Her wheelchair wheels sink into soft ground after a rainstorm, and she can't get enough traction to move. She's been out there for 20 minutes, getting more frustrated and upset when Ben finds her. "Here," he says, without making a big deal about it. He lifts the back of her wheelchair slightly, giving her wheels enough grip to move forward. "I hate this," Anna says, surprising herself with how angry she sounds. "I hate being helpless. I hate needing help with everything." Ben stops walking and looks at her seriously. "Anna, yesterday you negotiated a deal that will save me $3,000 on winter feed. This morning you figured out a tax deduction that my accountant missed for the last 5 years. Last week you organized my entire filing system and found invoices I thought were lost forever." He gestures toward the house. "You're not helpless. You got stuck in mud. That happens to everyone out here. My truck gets stuck, my cattle get stuck, I get stuck. It's not about being helpless. It's about knowing when to ask for help." Anna feels tears starting, but they're not tears of sadness anymore. They're tears of relief. For the first time since her accident, someone is reminding her of what she can do instead of focusing on what she can't do. That evening, Ben shows Anna how much money they've already saved through her organizational work. He also shows her his 5-year plan for expanding the ranch, a plan that depends entirely on the business improvements Anna is implementing. "I couldn't do this without you," Ben says simply. "This partnership is working exactly like I hoped it would." Anna looks out at the mountains turning purple in the sunset. The ranch still feels overwhelming sometimes, but it also feels like possibility. For the first time in months, she's not just surviving, she's building something tomorrow will bring new challenges, but Anna is starting to believe she can handle them. She's not the same woman she was before the accident, but maybe that's okay. Maybe this new version of herself is stronger than she thought. Spring arrives at the ranch with a burst of wildflowers and new calves. Anna has been living there for 8 months now, and the rhythm of ranch life has become natural to her. She wakes up early not because she has to, but because she wants. To see the sunrise paint the mountains pink and gold, Anna's office has become the command center of the ranch operation. She's installed better computer systems, created detailed budgets, and established relationships with cattle buyers across 3 states. The ranch is making money for the first time in years, and Ben's stress level has dropped noticeably. But more than that, Anna and Ben have become a real team. They start each morning with coffee on the front porch, discussing the day's priorities. Anna handles the business calls while Ben works with the cattle. In the evenings, they sit together, reviewing the day's accomplishments and planning for tomorrow. Their friendship has deepened slowly and naturally. Anna has learned that Ben is much more complex than his quiet exterior suggests. He reads voraciously during winter months and has strong opinions about everything from environmental conservation to economic policy. Ben has discovered that Anna has a sharp sense of humor and can make him laugh even on the most frustrating days. The change in both of them is obvious to anyone who visits the ranch. Anna moves around the property with confidence now, using special paths Ben has created. For her wheelchair, she's learned to help with some of the animals, particularly the baby calves, who don't care about wheelchairs and just want attention. Ben has become more outgoing and optimistic. The constant worry about losing the ranch has been replaced by excitement about future possibilities. He talks more, smiles more, and has started taking better care of himself. One morning in April, Ben's nephew Tommy arrives for his summer visit. Anna has been looking forward to meeting the 10-year-old boy Ben has talked about so often. Tommy is small for his age, with dark hair like Ben's and eyes that seem too serious for a child. "Tommy, this is Anna," Ben says. "She's my business partner and the smartest person I know." Tommy shakes Anna's hand politely but doesn't say much. Anna can see the sadness in his eyes and recognizes the defensive posture of a child who's been hurt. Over the next few days, Anna watches Tommy carefully. He follows Ben around the ranch, helping with small tasks, but he doesn't talk much. When Anna tries to engage him in conversation about school or his interests, Tommy gives short answers and looks away. Anna remembers what Ben told her about Tommy's parents divorcing and decides not to push. Instead, she simply includes Tommy in her daily routine. When she's working in her office, she leaves the door open so Tommy can wander in if he wants. When she's reviewing cattle records, she explains what she's doing in case Tommy is interested. Slowly, Tommy starts spending more time around Anna. He's curious about her computer work and asks questions about spreadsheets and market reports. Anna realizes that Tommy is very intelligent, but has been written off by adults who don't understand how he learns. One afternoon, Tommy asks Anna directly, "Why are you in a wheelchair?" Anna tells him about the car accident, speaking honestly but gently. Tommy listens carefully, then asks, "Do you miss walking?" "Every day," Anna says. "But I've learned that there are many ways to be strong. Walking was just one of them." Tommy nods thoughtfully. "My dad says I'm not strong because I cry sometimes." Anna's heart breaks a little. "Tommy, crying doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Some of the strongest people I know cry when they need to." From that conversation on, Tommy opens up. To Anna, he tells her about his parents fighting, about feeling like the divorce is his fault, about being scared and angry and confused. Anna listens without judgment and helps. Tommy understands that his feelings are normal and valid. Ben watches Anna work with Tommy and sees something beautiful. Anna has a gift for making people feel valued and understood. She doesn't try to fix Tommy's problems, but she gives him tools to understand and cope with his emotions. As the weeks pass, Anna starts teaching Tommy informally. Not traditional schoolwork, but practical skills that interest him. She shows him how to use spreadsheets to track the cattle inventory. She teaches him about profit margins and business planning. Tommy soaks up this knowledge eagerly because it feels relevant and important. One evening, Ben and Anna are sitting on the porch after Tommy has gone to bed. The stars are brilliant in the clear mountain sky, and the only sound is the gentle lowing of cattle in the distance. "You're amazing with him," Ben says quietly. "Tommy hasn't opened up to anyone like this since the divorce started." Anna feels warmth spread through her chest. He's a special kid. He just needed someone to see his strengths instead of focusing on his problems. Ben turns to look at Anna, and something in his expression makes her heart beat faster. "You do that for everyone around you," he says. "You see the best in people. You saw potential in this ranch when everyone else saw a lost cause. You see intelligence in Tommy when his teachers see a problem child. What do you see in me?" Anna asks softly. Ben is quiet for a long moment. "I see the strongest person I've ever met," he says finally. "I see someone who refused to let tragedy define her. I see someone who built a new life from nothing and made it beautiful." Anna feels tears in her eyes, but they're happy tears. "Ben, these past months have been the best of my life since the accident. I feel useful again. I feel valued. I feel ... What?" Ben asks gently. "I feel like myself again," Anna whispers. Ben reaches over and takes Anna's hand. It's the first time he's touched her beyond the casual contact of helping her with her wheelchair. His hand is rough from ranch work, but his touch is gentle. "Anna," Ben says, his voice uncertain, "I need to tell you something. These past months, working with you, watching you transform this place. Somewhere along the way, I fell in love with you." Anna's breath catches. She's been feeling something growing between them too, but she was afraid to name it. I know this complicates everything, Ben continues quickly. I know you might not feel the same way. I know people will have opinions about us, but I couldn't keep pretending that I only see you as a business partner. Anna squeezes Ben's hand. I love you too, she says simply. I've been afraid to admit it, even to myself. But you've given me back my life, Ben. You've shown me that I can be loved. For who I am now, not who I used to be? They sit together in comfortable silence, holding hands and watching the stars. Both of them know that tomorrow will bring new challenges. People in town will have opinions about their relationship. Anna's sister will worry. There will be practical complications to navigate, but tonight, under the vast Montana sky, Anna and Ben have found something neither of them expected when this partnership began. They found love that's based on respect, understanding, and genuine partnership. They've found someone who sees their true strength and believes in their potential. In the distance, a coyote howls and the cattle stir restlessly. Ben squeezes Anna's hand and smiles. Should we go inside? He asks. Anna looks up at the stars one more time. In a minute, she says. I want to remember this moment exactly as it is. They sit together a while longer. Two people who found each other when they both needed hope the most. Tomorrow they'll face the world as partners in business and in love. But tonight, they're simply two hearts that have recognized their perfect match. Summer brings both joy and crisis to the ranch. Anna and Ben's relationship has blossomed into something beautiful and steady. They work together seamlessly during the day and spend their evenings planning for the future. Tommy has thrived under Anna's guidance, showing remarkable progress in both academics and emotional maturity, but in early August, a thick envelope arrives in the mail that changes everything. Anna recognizes the law firm's letterhead immediately. It's from the lawyers. Handling her accident case and medical bills, Anna's hands shake as she opens the letter. The insurance settlement she's been waiting for has finally been processed, but the amount is devastating. After lawyer fees and administrative costs, the settlement barely covers half of her accumulated medical bills. The remaining debt is enormous, nearly $200,000 that Anna owes to hospitals, doctors, and rehabilitation centers. The letter explains that creditors are now demanding immediate payment. If Anna can't pay within 60 days, they'll begin legal proceedings to garnish any income she has and place liens on any property she owns. Anna sits in her office staring at the numbers, feeling like the world is crashing down around her again. Just when she'd started to believe in happiness and a future with Ben, her past is threatening to destroy everything. Ben finds her there an hour later, tears streaming down her face as she stares at spreadsheets showing debt that feels impossible to overcome. What's wrong? Ben asks immediately, kneeling beside her wheelchair. Anna shows him the letter and her calculations. Ben's face grows serious as he reads, but he doesn't look panicked. Okay, he says calmly. This is a problem, but problems have solutions. We'll figure this out. Ben, it's $200,000, and Anna says desperately. I can't ask you to help with this. It's not your responsibility. Anna, we're partners, Ben says firmly. In business and in life. Your problems are my problems now. Ben's first suggestion is to sell part of the ranch land to cover Anna's debts. The ranch has over 3,000 acres and several developers have shown interest in purchasing sections for subdivision into smaller properties. Absolutely not, Anna says immediately. I won't let you sacrifice your family's land for my medical bills. This ranch has been in your family for 3 generations. I won't be responsible for ending that? Then what do you suggest? Ben asks. Anna works frantically for the next week, exploring every possible option. She contacts the creditors to negotiate payment plans, but they want amounts that would still be impossible to meet. She researches bankruptcy options, but that would destroy her credit and potentially affect Ben's business. Late one night, Anna is reading about grant opportunities for disabled entrepreneurs when an idea starts forming. She's been helping Tommy with his learning, and she's seen how much he's improved with individualized attention in a hands-on environment. What if she could create something that would help other kids like Tommy while also generating income? The next morning, Anna presents her idea to Ben over coffee. What if we started an educational program here at the ranch? A place where kids who don't fit into traditional schools could come to learn in a different environment? Ben listens as Anna explains her vision. The ranch would offer programs that combine academic learning with practical skills, mathematics. Through ranch management, science through animal care, history through land conservation. Kids like Tommy, who learn better with hands-on experiences, could thrive in this setting. We could start small, Anna continues, her excitement growing. Maybe a summer program first, then expand to after-school programs during the year. Eventually, we might even offer alternative schooling for kids who can't succeed in regular classrooms. Ben can see the passion in Anna's eyes, but he's practical about the challenges. That sounds amazing, but how does it solve your debt problem? Education programs take time to build and might not make money for years. Anna pulls out research she's been doing on grants and funding opportunities. There are grants available for innovative education programs, especially ones that serve at-risk children. There's also funding specifically for businesses started by people with disabilities. If we can get initial funding to start the program, we could generate enough income to pay my debts while creating something meaningful. Ben is intrigued but worried about the timeline. Anna, you have 60 days. Even if we get approved for grants, the money might not come through in time. Then we need to prove the concept quickly, Anna says. What if we started with a small pilot program this month? Get some local kids out here, show what we can accomplish, document the results. We could use that as proof of concept for grant applications and maybe even attract some paying families right away. Anna's plan is ambitious and risky, but Ben can see that she's found her true calling. This isn't just about solving a debt problem. It's about Anna creating something that combines all of her strengths and experiences. They spend the next 2 weeks working 18-hour days to set up a pilot program. Anna contacts families in town with children who struggle in traditional school settings. Ben prepares areas of the ranch for educational activities. Tommy becomes their first official student and helps recruit other kids. The pilot program starts. With 6 children, ages 8 to 14, Anna creates individualized learning plans for each child, incorporating ranch activities into academic lessons. Kids learn fractions by calculating feed portions for cattle. They study ecosystems by examining the ranch's natural environment. They develop communication skills by presenting reports about their ranch projects to their parents. The results are remarkable. Within 2 weeks, every child shows improvement in both academic performance and self-confidence. Parents are amazed by their children's enthusiasm for learning. Word spreads quickly through the community about the innovative program happening at Ben and Anna's ranch. Local newspaper reporter visits to write a story about the program. The article features a photo of Anna working with a group of children around a calf, explaining how they're using math to track the calf's growth and development. The headline reads, "Local Teacher Turns Ranch into Innovative Learning Center." The article catches the attention of the state education department, which is looking for creative solutions to help struggling students. A program director contacts Anna about potential funding opportunities and asks for a formal proposal. Anna works frantically to write grant applications while continuing to run the pilot program. She documents every success story, tracks academic improvements, and builds relationships with education officials who visit the ranch. With 2 weeks left before her debt deadline, receives news that changes everything. The state education department approves a significant grant to fund the ranch education program for 2 years. Additionally, 3 private foundations offer funding after hearing about the program's success. The total funding package is enough to pay Anna's medical debts and establish the education program on a solid financial foundation. But more importantly, Anna has found her life's purpose. She's created something that transforms children's lives while allowing her to use all of her skills and experiences. On the day Anna makes her final debt payment, she and Ben sit on their front porch watching Tommy and 5 other children work with the cattle. The kids are laughing and learning, and their parents are grateful for the confidence and skills their children are developing. "You did it," Ben says, putting his arm around Anna. You turned a crisis into an opportunity. Anna leans against Ben's shoulder. We did it, she corrects. I couldn't have built this without your support and belief in me. Ben kisses the top of Anna's head. You know what I admire most about you? You don't just survive challenges, you transform them into something beautiful that helps other people. Anna looks out at the children learning and laughing on their ranch. 6 months ago, she thought her life was over. Now she's running a successful educational program, building a future with the man she loves, and helping children discover their own potential. Sometimes the biggest challenges lead to the most unexpected blessings. Anna has learned that being brave doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you keep moving forward even when the path seems impossible to navigate. 1 year later, the ranch has been transformed into something neither Anna nor Ben could have imagined when they first met in that library parking lot. The Rolling Hills Learning Ranch now hosts 40 students during summer programs and 25 children in after-school and weekend programs throughout the year. Anna's educational philosophy has attracted attention from across the state. Children who were labeled as problem students or learning disabled have flourished in the ranch environment. Local newspapers have featured success stories about kids who went from failing traditional school to excelling in Anna's hands-on learning programs. The ranch itself has grown and improved dramatically. Ben has expanded the operation to include educational gardens, a greenhouse, and specialized areas for different types of learning activities. The financial success of the education program has allowed them to modernize equipment, improve facilities, and even hire 2 additional staff members, but the most beautiful transformation has been in Anna and Ben themselves. Anna moves around the ranch with complete confidence now, her wheelchair equipped with special tires for outdoor terrain. She radiates the same energy and joy that people remembered from her teaching days, but with an added depth that comes from overcoming real adversity. Ben has blossomed from a quiet, isolated rancher into a natural educator and leader. He works with the older children, teaching them about animal care, land management, and responsibility. His patient, gentle nature makes him perfect for working with kids who need extra understanding and support. Tommy, now 11, has become the unofficial ambassador for the ranch program. His academic performance has improved dramatically, but more importantly, his confidence and emotional health have strengthened. He helps recruit new students and assists Anna with younger children who remind him of his former struggling self. On a warm September morning, Anna is working with a group of 8-year-olds in the ranch's learning garden when she notices a familiar car pulling up the driveway. She recognizes the vehicle immediately. It's the same type of government car that brought the education officials who approved their first grant. Dr. Patricia Williams, the state education director, steps out of the car with a smile on her face. She's visiting the ranch for the 3rd time this year, each visit bringing better news than the last. Anna, Dr. Williams calls out, I have some exciting news to share with you and Ben. Anna gathers the children and leads them over to where Ben is working with a group of teenagers near the cattle pen. Dr. Williams waits for everyone to gather around before making her announcement. The State Education Board has voted to designate Rolling Hills Learning Ranch as a model program for alternative education. Dr. Williams says, we want to use your methods and philosophy to create similar programs in 5 other locations across the state. Anna feels her heart racing with excitement. This recognition means their work is being validated at the highest levels, but it also means they'll have the opportunity to help even more children. There's more, Dr. Williams continues. The state is prepared to offer significant funding to support expansion of your program and to help train educators who want to implement similar approaches. Ben and Anna exchange glances full of amazement and joy. When Anna first moved to the ranch, they were just hoping to save Ben's family property. Now they're being asked to lead educational reform across the entire state after Dr. Williams leaves. Anna and Ben walk together around the ranch property. Children are scattered across various learning stations, some working in the garden, others studying mathematics while helping to calculate feed rations. Still others researching local history while examining the old buildings on the property. Can you believe how far we've come? Ben asks, stopping to watch a shy 7-year-old girl successfully lead a gentle calf around the pen. 6 months ago, this same child was too frightened to speak up in her regular classroom. Anna watches the little girl's face light up with pride and accomplishment. Sometimes I think about that day in the library parking lot when you helped me with my wheelchair, she says. Did you have any idea this is where we'd end up? Ben laughs. I thought I was just helping someone get unstuck from gravel. I had no idea I was meeting my future wife and business partner. The word wife still makes Anna's heart skip a beat. Ben proposed to her 3 months ago during one of their educational sessions with a group of fascinated children watching. He said he wanted to make his commitment to Anna in front of the kids because they represented everything beautiful that had grown from their partnership. Their wedding is planned for next month, right here on the ranch. The ceremony will be small but meaningful, with their educational program children serving as the wedding party. Tommy will be Ben's best man, and Anna's sister Lucy has finally embraced Ben as the perfect partner for her sister. As the sun begins to set, Anna and Ben make their way back to the house. The children from the day programs have all gone home, but the ranch feels full of life and possibility. Tomorrow will bring new students, new challenges, and new opportunities to make a difference in young lives. You know what I realized today? Anna says as they sit on their front porch, a tradition that started on Anna's first visit to the ranch. What's that? Ben asks, settling into his chair and reaching for Anna's hand. I spent so much time after my accident thinking about what I had lost. I never imagined I could gain something even better than what I had before. Anna gestures toward the ranch, where evidence of their educational program is visible everywhere. Learning gardens, outdoor classrooms, happy children's artwork decorating the barn walls. Before the accident, I was a good teacher in a regular classroom. But now I'm helping children who really need what I have to offer. I'm working with someone I love completely. I'm building something that will outlast both of us. Ben squeezes Anna's hand. You've taught me about real courage, he says. I used to think being brave meant facing down a charging bull or working through a blizzard. But watching you rebuild your entire life, refuse to give up, and create something beautiful from tragedy, that's real bravery. Anna feels tears of gratitude in her eyes. You saw strength in me when I couldn't see it in myself. You believed I could contribute something valuable when everyone else saw me as broken. As the stars begin to appear in the darkening sky, Anna and Ben sit together in comfortable silence. Both of them are thinking about the journey that brought them to this moment, the pain, the struggles, the small victories that led to big transformations. A car pulls up the driveway, and they see Lucy getting out with her 2 young children. Lucy has become one of the ranch's biggest supporters, often bringing her kids to participate in weekend programs. Aunt Anna, Lucy's 6-year-old daughter calls out, running toward the porch. Can we see the new baby calves? Anna laughs and reaches down to hug her niece. Of course, sweetheart. Ben can show you while I help your mom with dinner. As the family gathers in the warm kitchen, Anna reflects on how full her life has become. She has meaningful work that challenges and fulfills her. She has a partner who sees her as strong and capable. She has a home that welcomes children and fills them with confidence and joy. The accident that nearly destroyed Anna's life has become the foundation for something more beautiful than she ever dreamed possible. She learned that being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you keep believing in tomorrow even when today seems impossible. Tonight, as Anna helps prepare dinner surrounded by family and laughter, she knows that her greatest adventures are still ahead of her. Tomorrow, she works with more children who need to believe in themselves. Next month, she marry the man who helped her remember her own strength. Next year, she helped expand their program to reach even more kids across the state. Anna Chun has discovered that sometimes the most beautiful lives are built from the pieces of broken dreams. Her wheelchair hasn't limited her, it's taken her places she never would have gone otherwise. Her accident didn't end her story, it started a new chapter. That's more meaningful than anything she could have written before. As Ben says goodnight to Lucy's children, and Anna cleans up the kitchen. Both of them know they found something rare and precious. They found love that's based on respect and partnership. They found work that makes the world a little better. They found proof that courage and hope can transform even the darkest circumstances into something bright and beautiful outside. Their window, the same stars that witnessed Anna's lowest moments, now shine down on her greatest happiness. The ranch is quiet except for the gentle sounds of cattle settling down for the night and the distant call of an owl. Anna and Ben head to bed knowing that tomorrow will bring new opportunities to help children discover their own strength and potential. Sometimes the best love stories aren't about perfect people finding each other. Sometimes they're about broken people helping each other heal and building something beautiful together from the pieces of their former lives. Anna and Ben have proven that real love sees past limitations to possibilities, past disabilities to abilities, past what was lost to what can be gained. Their story continues every day, written in the laughter of children who are learning to believe in themselves and in the quiet moments of two people who found their perfect match.